So take this opportunity of Ramadan to kind of mend the bonds, to be united, and to seek for forgiveness. This year I've fired a lot of people in my office on the basis of their role and their performances. And some of them, whenever you fire someone, it's not very easy. It's a very difficult kind of dialogue and a discussion. And some of them, they kind of blocked me and they were very angry on me. And you also see, sometimes in your families, you don't like your mother-in-law, you don't like your father-in-law, you don't like your sister-in-laws, and you don't like your husband. For a married couple, it's the perfect time that before the month of Ramadan starts, you kind of ask for an apology that, maybe I've been wronged, or maybe I was the one who oppressed you. So let's forgive one another. And you see a beautiful sense of Muslim ummah in this month of Ramadan, where people are actually inviting one another on Sehri, on Iftar, and they're kind of bringing the community together. So it's a perfect time for you to remove all the grudges and to control your anger, because what's the purpose of fasting if you are not willing to sacrifice or to tame your nafs? Because the Messenger of Allah said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in need of you to be hungry or thirsty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to tame your nafs, and He wants you not to fight with one another. And in another narration, it says that when someone wants to fight with you while you're fasting, just tell him that I'm fasting. So this is a beautiful bond that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to create with one another. And if we see the seerah, the Messenger of Allah, he would not only pray 5 times, but he would pray extra optional prayers. And in this month of Ramadan, it is up to us that, we plan to raise our bar further more. If we are standing on 2, we need to go up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If someone is standing on 10, he needs to go up to 80. And so he needs to add up some additional prayers. He needs to be consistent in Taraweeh and make a lot of dua and Tahajjud. So this consistency is extremely, extremely important. And so when we talk a lot about the corporate social responsibility and charity, and like what we have mentioned before, that, this is a perfect opportunity for you to mend your bonds and to do these all sort of things. What happens is that after the month of Ramadan goes away, we crash back. It's like an aeroplane that was flying totally fine, and all of a sudden, as the event of Eid arrives, it crashes back onto the ground. This is something natural, but should this be the norm? Should this be something that we should be adopting? Naturally not. What you need to do is that the spirituality that you have enjoyed in the month of Ramadan, the spirituality and the sweetness of faith that you have felt in the month of Ramadan, you actually should actually strive to remain in that state. I know it's very difficult for us to remain in that permanent state, but when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained us to do fasting, He says that kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed fasting on you as it was prescribed on fasting before the people that came before you, so that they become muttaqun, so they become people of taqwa. And a litmus test for whether our fasting has been accepted in the sight of Allah or not is that you need to see yourself, where are you standing before Ramadan and where are you standing after Ramadan. This is very important, and scholars say that if you want to analyze yourself whether Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted your fast or not, then you should also analyze that, what's the level of state that you are now after the month of Ramadan. And Ramadan is all about giving back to the community. It's very rare that you as children would remember some of the occasions with your parents. And those things, or even with your teachers as well. So a lot of us don't remember even our teachers, or we remember some of our teachers who were either very caring towards us, or who had bullied us or humiliated us, or who were very joyful and with a unique sort of teaching skills. And so as children as well, children often remember those events which were memorable for them, in which their parents were very nice and supportive to them, and their parents were very good to them. And it's obligatory on us, being parents, being adults of the society, to lead a direction to the society. And that direction is providing a joyful Islamic memories for your children. What you can do in the month of Ramadan is make it a special month, so that when children grow old, they kind of feel the joy that, oh, the month of Ramadan is coming and it's going to be joyful. Make Eid a special occasion. That's why we are recommended to wear the new clothes, because it's an alternative to all the non-religious festivals. What has happened in our society is that unfortunately we enjoy non-religious festivals more than we enjoy Eid. Eid is kind of a very boring day in which either the mother or the father is sleeping the entire day. Don't make a boring Eid. Don't give Eid a trauma, the Eid trauma to your children by making it so boring that Christmas and Basant and all other festivals sound more attractive to all of you. So this was the conclusion. And I make dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to reach the month of Ramadan. We never know that we may pass before the month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our fasting, our qiyam and our Quran, the recitation, the listening of it, and the offering of Taraweeh. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant Laylatul Qadr and enable us to permanently grow even after Ramadan. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Jazakallah khair.